Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. I will be with you in a minute, a few seconds. And here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my second show here. Did the first one a week ago, and we were coming up with a name, and we did that. You guys had so many good suggestions, so we ended up with Catch Up with Sonny. And I tried to do a little bit of a logo, tried to do some elements in the top and at the bottom, as you can see. Tried my best at least to to create something. And I also wanted to start the whole thing with some music, a little jingle. And I actually had one sort of prepared that we've had for a while. One of my dear friends here from Denmark, Samuel, made it for us a while back, and it was when we were still called Cat and Sonny React. So it was kind of based on that name and didn't really use it, but I kind of wanted to let you guys hear it, but I couldn't find it. So yeah, that's a little bit of a tease, but maybe I'll have it ready for next time, or maybe I'll have a totally new jingle or like an opening song, some music, because it feels a little bit weird just starting it with like nothing going on. But I hope you all can hear me. I hope that you've had a good week. Now we're getting into the weekend. That's always a nice thing. And let me just get into the chat here. See, yes, there are people. I can see people I know, some new people as well. Yeah, such a tease, such a tease. And I do want to say quickly before we get the whole thing started and get to the WandaVision non-spoiler review and also the interview with my father, with Major Dad. He's in the waiting room right now, so I'm not going to be talking for that long before I bring him in. But I do quickly want to say, as you can see up in the banner above me, ask a question and donate via Streamlabs. And yeah, you can do so by following the link that I've written up there. It's also down in the description where you can just click it and it will take you straight to Streamlabs where you can ask a question or just submit a comment with a donation if you want to, of course. If not, you are more than welcome to just participate in the chat. I just can't guarantee that I will get to your question there or your comment if I don't see it. So yeah, and donating through Streamlabs and then also the support that we get on Patreon is of course how we can keep doing this. It's how I can keep doing this. It's my day job now, so to say, and it's definitely how I can keep evolving this weekly live show and do more and more and maybe bring in more people as well, because that is what I want to do. That is where I want this thing to go in the future, at least. So let me just quickly get back to the chat here. And perfect. All right. People are still here, still following along. And I'm just, yeah, still sort of kind of new to this and trying out a lot of new things. and there's always there might be some technical issues here and there. So that's what I'm just checking up on once in a while. But let's get to it. Let's get to the first topic, at least, on today's show, which is WandaVision. It just premiered on Disney Plus, and I watched both of the episodes, of course, and recorded my reaction to those two episodes. As I have told some of you guys before, and it is also in the schedule update over on our community tab on YouTube, it's just gonna be me at first reacting to WandaVision and the MCU series, and then Kat is gonna join in when she can. And we've actually found out that, or we made it so, or we've talked about that it will be a very real possibility once we wrap up The Expanse, because then she'll have some more time, and then she can join then. And The Expanse wraps up in about 3 weeks or something, so she's gonna join a little over halfway through WandaVision, or about the halfway point. But let's get into it. The first two episodes, and as I said, this is a non-spoiler review, so I'm not gonna get into any specifics that happen in the episodes. I am going to talk about some of the stuff that we saw in the trailers, because I consider that like fair game, because it has been out for a while, the trailers. And of course, what we knew about this series beforehand, going in, was from the trailers and some of the footage that we saw. And in particular, the fact that they are kind of, well, basing this, or at least using the format of a very old, like black and white sitcom with laughter in the background and everything, and silly jokes. And yes, that is definitely there. If you are one of those people who are a little bit on the fence about that, then and are maybe just waiting for them to get into what's going on in like the real world, and not in this sitcom fantasy world that we got, and that we've seen in the trailers, then the first two episodes, they may not be for you per se, but they're getting into it. They're starting to, because we're starting with the sitcom, and getting to see, okay, WandaVision, Wanda and Vision, they are living together. And already, like, there, if you're caught up on the MCU, then you of course know what happened to Vision, what also happened to Wanda, and then she came back, but Vision didn't. So that's like, and he's alive in this series. Alive is what I say. And once again, I've only seen 2 episodes, so I don't know the entire extent of the series. But we get to see them live together as man and wife, who's living in their neighborhood, in their town. We get acquainted with some more people as well. And then there are, just like in the trailer, these few little instances here and there where things are just even more off than they were before. And something happens that Wanda or Vision, they will notice something that is off compared to this sitcom world that they live in. And I must say, once again, without getting into any story stuff, excuse me, that I found the first 2 episodes highly entertaining. I'm not used to, per se, like this sitcom format. Of course, I've seen a lot of sitcoms, not a lot of very old sitcoms, I have to admit. But just the way they're doing it, the writing, and you can see how much fun they're having with it, that, at least to me, it was so entertaining to watch. I really, really, really enjoyed that, actually. And I think all of the actresses who are in this series, at least in the first 2 episodes, are doing a really good job and entertaining the audience as well. It is very different from what we're used to in the MCU. And I can't stress that enough. But I feel like they're definitely going to get more and more into what's going on in the real world. But I also want to hear from you guys. So let's just jump into the chat. Sorry, I can't even talk. Let's jump into the chat real quick and see what people are saying. It looks like people are definitely, well, they're just curious about my reaction, and asking about whether or not we're going to do reactions. And yes, as I explained before, I am reacting to the first episodes. I don't know, like it's probably going to be like the first 5 episodes or something, and then Kat is going to join afterwards. So yeah, it was either that or just waiting until, and then that might be a problem as well, because then we would have to film a lot in like a short period of time if we were just waiting till like when Kat is ready, or when we're done with the expand. So we're doing it like this. So I hope that's it's not going to be a problem for any of you out there. That it's just going to be me on those videos. And as I said, I have filmed them. I just need to edit them now. So that's what I'm gonna do after doing this show today, or this live stream today. Is I'm gonna edit the full length versions for Patreon, so they will be up as soon as possible, and then both highlight versions of both reactions for both episodes are going to be out tomorrow on YouTube. So you can check my reaction out there at least. And seems like people are at least saying that Elizabeth Olsen is fantastic. She's a waifu, best Olsen. Definitely, you can say that she's doing a wonderful job with that role, and I really, 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 really enjoy her character, and I have been enjoying her character for like her entire stay in the MCU so far. It is also one, like, I don't know if you guys have noticed through the movies that she starts out with like a very clear accent, or at least like you can hear she has an accent because she is from Sokovia, this fictional country in the world of Marvel, and that accent, it kind of just disappears over time, which is something that they did on purpose, because I think they were like, it doesn't maybe really sound that great, and we want her to be able to just talk without doing a weird accent all the time. So they slowly just made it into that, okay, she has an American accent. And she very much has an American accent on this show. But that also fits into the whole sitcom, 50s, 60s sitcom thing that they're doing right now, at least. We also know from the trailers that that is not the only thing. That's not the only, dare I say, reality that we see. There's also some stuff in color, maybe, and yeah, it's but so far, at least the first 2 episodes, I enjoyed them a lot. I am so intrigued about this series, and I think it is such a brave move to start out this new phase of the MCU with WandaVision. I know technically Spider-Man Far From Home was actually the end of phase 3 in a way, even though one could say that Endgame is like that's the cap off there. That's when they end the Infinity Saga. But we still had Far From Home kind of explaining and showing us, oh, this is what the world looks like post Endgame, when everybody got snapped back into existence, and that brought some problems along as well. So yeah. But WandaVision, at least, that is our first real foray into phase 4. And we haven't had any new Marvel, any new MCU stuff for a little while. Of course, we just went through 2020 where there were no new movies, no new nothing, and some of this stuff it was supposed to come out earlier. We were supposed to like have already experienced some of the shows, I believe, and Black Widow, and maybe even Eternals at this point. But no, it's still, we have to wait a little bit longer. But at least now getting back into that world and doing it with something so unique and refreshing as WandaVision is a real cool decision, if you ask me, and something that I have a lot of respect for, that they went with that as a starting point. I think it's so far so good, and I cannot wait to experience the rest of it with you guys as well. All right. Oh, and seems like the chat is moving a little bit. Yeah, the Slavic accents. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was referring to. That's what I was referring to. Pretty sure WandaVision is a horror show. It could evolve into that, maybe. Right now, it's definitely not. It's more of a comedy. But as I said, I think they're doing such a wonderful job with that. And my big takeaway, once again, without spoiling anything, is that you can really see how much fun all the actors are having on set doing this and being kind of like a caricature deal going on from, yeah, the 50s and 60s sitcom. But all right, just a quick question. I'm just curious to see, like, hear from you guys in the chat. It seems like most people who have seen it, they enjoyed it. But I do just want to ask you guys quickly, and I can give you my opinion as well. What other MCU shows are you looking forward to the most? Were you looking forward to WandaVision the most, or is it Falcon and Winter Soldier? Is it Loki? Is it maybe further into the future, like Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, of course. Yeah, that's another big one. Like, which one of those are you looking forward to the most? And of course, you can just submit your answers in the chat, and I'll just see how many I can catch there, and can tell you at least my pick before I look at that. What I'm looking forward to the most is most likely Loki. But that's because Loki is just such a... I love that character. I love that actor, Tom Hiddleston. He just made that character his own. Started out as just a villain in one movie, and then they used him as a villain in another movie, and then used him again and again, and kind of turning his character around, and then killing him off, but then making it so that, okay, now time travel and stuff, and hey, he's alive again. No, he took the Tesseract. Where the fuck is he going? And that's so intriguing to me as well. And we saw a lot in that trailer with him in this new facility, and with Owen Wilson. And yeah, that's at least one that I'm looking forward to a lot. And when it comes to just getting some really solid MCU stuff that we already know about, the solid action, and maybe getting like some of the stuff that I really enjoyed in the MCU, like whenever they were doing like a spy genre kind of thing, especially in the Winter Soldier, and a lot that had to do with Captain America, then yeah, I would look to Falcon and Winter Soldier as, that's gonna be the MCU show that's really gonna feel like the MCU that we know. So yeah, looking forward to that. I am actually looking forward to all of it. And the MCU, that is something that I'm really into. Like, you guys know already that I am a big Star Wars fan, and that is my universe, definitely. And where my knowledge base is, it is the one that I know the most about. But the MCU is at the moment like a close second. There are also many other fictional universes that I really love, but I'm a big fan of the MCU, so I cannot wait for this new era with both television and movies taking some chances, like with WandaVision. All right, let's see. What did you guys say? Bum, 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 bum. Seems like people are hyped about Loki and Moon Knight as well. Got a lot of Loki, a lot of Moon Knight. That's awesome. And some Falcon and Winter Soldier too. And we got one saying that, yeah, and WandaVision, been a top pick for a while. Big fan of the character, so happy we're getting true focus on her. And all of the wackiness that comes with her. Yes, her character, at least from the comics, is, if you've read the comics, she's extremely powerful. So it's going to be interesting to see like where they're going to take her character. And we know already that WandaVision is going to lead into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which is going to be like a big come together movie in phase 4, I believe. I don't think there are any Avengers movie in that one. And we got Hoople saying WandaVision number 1, Loki number 2. Yeah, pretty close to what I was thinking before I saw the show, at least. But yeah, in general, seems like people are very much excited when it comes to WandaVision and the MCU shows. But I think that's gonna do it for this little section of this show, talking about WandaVision, reviewing it, no spoilers, and I sincerely hope I didn't hint at too much, or I didn't say anything that was gonna spoil anything. And yeah, hey, good evening to you guys as well, and I will definitely say hi to Kat from all of you guys. She's working so hard at the moment, and it's such a struggle with getting, because he's teaching and can't really go to the school and teach because we're on lockdown. So he has to do like the has to do it on the computer and online. It's not easy, and especially not if you're teaching classes where you really need to be hands-on with a lot of stuff, and you need to make, like, it's chemistry and biology, like you need to be able to do things and show things and have the students do things that they can't do from home, and it's not gonna, like, yeah, it's a struggle, but she's a trooper, and she's really trying to make it work for those kids, so that they can still get a little bit schooling, and one could say, yeah, they can still do that without having to actually physically be there, and yeah, it is not easy. But what I'm gonna do now is I am gonna bring in my father, Major Dad, and some of you may know him, may have seen him in some of our previous videos, reactions. He joined for, I think the first video he was really on, was it? I think it was Band of Brothers and Baston, that episode 6. And then he appeared in a trailer reaction for The Mandalorian Season 2. After that, him and we watched the entirety of The Pacific together. And those are, up on the channel if you are curious about that. And talking about history, talking about like warfare, military, because he is in the military, hence Major Dad. So he knows a lot about that, and he knows a lot about history. But what he also knows a lot about is actually Star Wars. Like, he's the reason why I got into Star Wars. So we're probably also going to be talking a little bit about that. We have some pictures we may want to show you. And then it's just going to be a little conversation between him and I. And if you guys have any questions for Major Dad, then please submit them through Streamlabs so that I can get to them a little bit later during the talk there with them. You're also welcome to try to get our attention in the chat, but while I am talking to him, I'm not going to look at the chat all the time, because then it's just going to be me just staring at the screen for a little bit and then talking and then back and forth, and that's not going to be that entertaining. But yeah, what do you say? Should we bring him in? Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Just getting Zoom to work here. And finding him in the waiting room. I hope that he's ready. 1, 2, 3, and here we go. Oh, and he's muted. Just a sec. I think so. Nope. I think there is... there we go.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Oh, wait, that's because I need to put these on. That's why I can't hear him.
Okay.
Technical issues, guys. Technical issues. There we go. Yes, there you are.
Good.
Hello, Daddy-o.
Hello there.
Hello there. Yes, that is the right thing to say. That would be, people know me from saying that when there's anything Star Wars related, at least.
Yeah.
But yay, Welcome to my little live show. Just full transparency. Me and my dad, we have been going a little bit back and forth and testing out this new format and doing it through Zoom as well. So yeah, we've done this before and we were talking like earlier today and before the stream started. And I do want to thank you for helping me out with all this stuff. It's still new doing these live shows, one could say, and trying to do it with all the like the logos and elements and yeah, and then also putting in something like Zoom where we can talk together. But yeah, I just talked a little bit about WandaVision, but
I was listening in on you when you were talking, and let me start by saying, as I told you when you were young, you should have been a doctor because you said it's just going to be 5 minutes, and then you put me in the waiting room, and I've been in the waiting room for about a half an hour
I'm
before you
sorry.
told me. So you talk quite a lot. At least it's Friday evening, and to everyone out there, cheers. It's Friday evening for me. It might be a little earlier for you around the world, but remember, you can always pretend you're somewhere else. Cheers.
Exactly. I'm gonna say cheers as well. Can't really see what I'm drinking, but it looks like you're drinking something akin to a dark and stormy or something.
Spot on. It's a dark and stormy. Yeah.
Spot on. That is also a favorite drink of mine, at least. All right, I'm just gonna quickly update the Streamlabs over here just to see whether people have submitted anything. Not really, and it's not that you absolutely have to,
So
but
yeah, well, let me start off because normally when we do this, or the few times that I've done this, I've had kind of a safety net because I could do word fumble, I could mumble, I could say things in Danish. This is my second language, and right now I'm flying without no safety net whatsoever. So and I might come some funny words out there, and I still expect you to sort of come in and give me the right words. I should be proficient in English, and if I run out of words, I'll just try to rephrase it. And the whole Major Dad thing, it's fine by me. It refers to the sitcom Major Dad. For some people, I just think it sounds quite all right. So I'm kind of okay with being called Major Dad. I even tried to make a background for it, so it kind of looked like I'm Major Dad. But yeah, anyway, ask away. I might answer, I might not answer, I might tell you a bit about my career, I might lie, you still can't check up on it. So I'm just going to make myself look good, if possible.
yes, and you're already doing that with such an amazing background that you've made for yourself. And I should just tell the people that you are definitely very proficient when it comes to anything that has to do with computer technology. You're up to date, and it's something that you've always been. And you introduced me to like many things in that area as well, and always been the guy with my computer isn't working, please come and help. And then you go over and you take a quick look at it and you hit a few keys, and then, oh, it's working. All right, fixed it. So yeah, you're really good with that stuff. And that's always been a help for me growing up, at least. All right. We already got a Streamlabs, and it is Will sending my respects to Major Dad. Thank you for your service.
Thank you so much. I enjoy getting those greetings. So and thank you. They mean a lot to people that serve.
Yes, I am sure that that it does. All right, let me just quickly check on the chat because I definitely said that I would do so. And it's just a lot of people saying hello, Major Dad, and also some people laughing, making your father wait half an hour. Shame on you, Sonny. Yeah, that's as you said. I'm good at saying, oh well, I'm just gonna talk for a little while, and then it just goes on and on and on. Like you guys could see on the previous, like the first catch up with Sonny, even before it was actually called that, that I said it was gonna be an hour long stream, and it was closer to 2 hours. So probably gonna be something similar today. Maybe not 2 hours, but I don't want to promise anything. I don't want to say anything I can't. hold
If I
true to.
run out of if I run out on the drink, you're gonna have to keep them occupied, and I'll just be right back. So
Perfect, perfect. Yes, that's a good way to. Yeah. All right, all right. We have prepared some things, at least some things
yeah,
that we can talk about, and also some pictures. And I mentioned that to the people as well, that some pictures from some years ago, some of our Star Wars centric experiences together, and a little bit travel stuff as well. But I do know that there are some people, at least. So I was thinking maybe we could get this out of the way first off. Some people are curious about your career, your military career, or at least what you have been doing, where you have been. So I know you have prepared a little bit about that,
I can
and
do a
just
quick rundown of it. Yeah,
yeah.
but it's not gonna be detailed in any way. But you can ask away, and as I said before, I might answer it, and I might just go the other way around it. So
Mm.
ask away, and I can take the fifth or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Uh, as many people, I started out very young in the military. My father was in the army as well, so some might wonder if it's in the family. Yeah, my grandfather was in the military as well, but not as a career per se. My father ended up as major dad for me, so he was a major as well. And then I started with the engineers, the Danish engineers, and I started off as a conscript. In Denmark, we have conscripcy, so you can get drafted. And I started with that, and then I went to sergeant school, became sergeant, then staff sergeant, and then I went to the military academy. Through the military academy, got out, became a platoon leader, second in command in a company, and then company commander as well. And at a certain point along the way, I had some physics training. I became a physics training officer, and I got some EUD operator, which is bomb disposal and stuff like that. Worked a lot with explosives, and at some point, I got to be both company commander. I was operations officer in a district. I was a course commander, a course leader on the NBC school, and I kind of left the military. I went out to work with bomb disposal for Danish Church Aid, and I went around the world for about 2.5 years, and at certain point I kind of felt it was the right thing to come back and be with the family, or rather be with Sonny, because traveling around the world is not the way to go with your marriage. So it didn't quite help much with the marriage at that time. So I went back after been around the world doing bomb disposal for a while, and I went back in the military and went back into service. And from then on out, it's just more or less boring staff officer stuff, working at a desk or so on. But I have been around the world with the military as well. I've been to Iraq. Some Americans might know they're based in Qatar, Camp Bassalia. I've been to the States, different places in the States, CENTCOM, Tampa, DC area, and so on. So I've been quite lucky with my military career. I got to get around the world, got to see the world, and that inspired me as well to take out Sonny out traveling around the world, and we kind of enjoyed that. There's not much good to say about getting a divorce, but Sonny stayed with me, and we got to travel the world, did backpacking in Thailand, and then again I always had the Star Wars stuff, and I could talk to Sonny about.
Yes.
So my military dream was, I can see someone wrote that as a question, what was the military dream? My military dream was, of course, to become ruler of the world, or general. You all start out that, and at some point you kind of level out, and your career is no longer going this way. It's like leveling out, and it's just it's just happening around you more or less.
Going in a direction.
Yeah. So not much to say about that, but I had a good military career. I'm still active duty, and I'm still enjoying it. Please don't tell anyone, because if you enjoy it too much, you are gonna get a new posting. That seems to be kind of the rule. So don't tell anyone. But I'm okay. I'm having a good time. I have some people that let me think that I'm their commander, so I can pretend to order them around, and they can pretend to do what I'm telling them to. So
Perfect.
yeah,
Yeah. And I also just because now you mentioned that it can happen that you will get some sort of posting or they will send you somewhere where you don't necessarily want to be. And that's at least something I remember when you came back after having traveled. And just for a short period of time, you were in and just another part of Denmark. And Denmark is not a big country at all by any stretch of the imagination. But it was still, I just remember uh, visiting you in a city called Skive,
yeah.
which is yeah, in the northern part of Jutland and a ways away from Copenhagen. So yeah, that was a part of it as well, that I just remember. And then of course I remember growing up, and you mentioned that you were you called it like a physics
Physics training officer,
physics.
PTO physics training officer. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a time I look back on fondly as well, because you had access to a lot of facilities in the town where we were living up in the military complex up there, where it was just like sport facility in a way, and training, and just could go up there with friends and see it, and have a just a little bit of fun as well. So it's just some of the stuff I look back on fondly as well. And I see you found another background picture from somewhere.
I just find out how this works. So I'm gonna change them along the way if it just doesn't come to mind. So
Perfect.
yeah,
It's also a neat little feature that you can change your background. I might do something like that at some point, even though I think this is looking quite all right. But I do want to move into, because you also said it, and I've said it many times, Star Wars is something that we really share a lot.
yeah.
Um,
I can see. I have the YouTube screen up as well, and I can see someone's asking, "Is there any place I want to revisit
oh, yeah.
uh, or go again?" And yeah, of course, there's several places I want to revisit. Traveling is really good for you, and at some point you end up at backwater end of the world, or whatever you call it, and other places nice and modern, but they all kind of give you something. So when I went out doing the mine clearance, bomb disposal stuff for the Danish church aid, um, I started off to do it sort of to get a good experience, or just for the experience of it. And after a while, helping other people out kind of was the thing. It kind of took over, that it's really a good feeling to help people,
Mm,
uh, and you meet a lot of nice people around the world. Of course, they're happy that you come and remove the mines for them, but basically they're quite nice as well.
mm,
And I found out that if you go to Africa and places, stuff like that, Middle East and so on, smoking is a social thing. So you better smoke, because people want to smoke. And when you smoke and you get this, when you get the tea or whatever, and the smoke, you get to know people. So
mm.
that, um, yeah. So
Better,
that was, yeah. Go on.
just saying that, yeah, better be ready for something like that, and something where you maybe have to partake in something that is a very real and important part of the culture of the country that you're in, so that as you said, people will maybe trust in you and talk to you more if as you said in the Middle East, if you smoke a cigarette with them or
Yeah,
something
it's
like
a social thing. You sit around the table or sit on the floor and whatever, you smoke a cigarette, you learn about those cultural things that
that.
are there, and you try to meet people at the right level. The best thing I can compare it with is if you meet people on the right level, everything goes much easier. Some people learned that and put it into the shop, and I remember once we were in in the States, you and I, you were not that old, but we went into a toy store, and the guy who
Mm.
was selling toys, he kind of just walked past me and over to you and kneeled down and met you on your level and talked about what was fun. And he knew that he needed to sell stuff to you because I'll just be paying that stuff. So meeting you at the right level, that influenced me a lot. And of course, growing older, you you put all those memories into your mind, and you become a little more mellow and a little bit more understanding. And I think a lot of people need to go travel, see the world, meet people out there as well. That would be helpful for people as well.
That is actually something. One of the other things, many things that I am very very thankful for when it comes to you raising me and mom, of course, as well. That wanting to take me places and going out in the world and getting introduced to other cultures and people, and like, yeah, learning English very early on so that I can communicate with people in other countries, from other countries. It is something that I think has, like, hopefully made me a better person, and it's helping me, always stop and be like, okay, let's look at it from that perspective or another perspective that isn't mine, because there's always another way to look at it depending on where you're from and who you are and what culture you're from, your religion, whatever it is. It's something that we all need to just think about a little bit more, maybe. And a way to at least get introduced to it is to go out in the world, go out and travel and meet new people. So I'm
Yeah,
so very thankful for that.
be happy, meet people in a happy way,
Mm.
and when if I have to choose, I want to meet or be with happy people. I mean, angry people, I do that myself. Sometimes I get angry about stuff. So I try to remind myself by telling the people that I work with that every day should be a good museum day. And if people know what that means, good. If not, it means that every day of your life is a small picture. And at the end of your lifetime, when you die, you might be the one trying to show your museum to everyone else for all eternity. And you better have good pictures in there. And you get good pictures when you're in a good mood or happy or with happy people or whatever.
Mm.
And I got some good pictures from doing what I've done, and I got to meet. I can change the picture behind you. I got to meet the Crown Prince of Denmark, the future King of Denmark, in Eritrea, and I even went out with him, and he blew up a mine in Eritrea,
Yeah.
just as a token thing. I went up there to the minefield. We went in there, and I explained to him about the mine and so on. But before we went in there, one of the staff officers came up to me and said, if he wants to, which he always wants to, he's not allowed to touch anything dangerous. You have to keep him away from explosives and all that, because he
Protect the king.
yeah, protect the king. So,
Yeah.
and of course, you couldn't have a staff officer and all, like, so it was just him and me in the minefield looking at the mine, and then afterwards he got to blow it up and so on. So
Of
that's
course he
some
did.
of the good experiences that I got through working for Danish Church Aid and doing that, and I got some good experience working internationally in the military as well, and also domestic, of course. We do have nice people in Denmark too, by the way.
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. I would say so as well. I see here that there is another donation through Streamlabs, and just want to tell all you guys that I'm, yeah, still working on the technical stuff. So I do want to, hopefully soon, but I will be able to, like, get it up on the screen so that you can see whenever a new Streamlabs is coming in, just like many other YouTube live shows are doing it. But at least right now I can read it out, and it is from our good friend Hooplehead USA. Major Dad, when did you realize that Sonny had fallen for and was really serious about Cat? And what did you think of that?
Well, that's a heavy question. First of all, I don't have that much memory going back. Like any other man, I remember about 7 minutes into the past, and I can plan about 7 to 8 seconds into the future. So, but I remember Sonny talked about Kat way before I saw her because he met her at Roskilde, I think Roskilde Festival. Before Roskilde Festival, he met her, and then he had uh, meeting with at Roskilde Festival, and well, from you can hear on people once they're serious about something. So I kind of got that up front that well, he's probably going to stick around her for a while, and I thought almost like a dog following around.
Yeah, falling around a bone. Yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
yeah, but yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I met her before, or met her, and we've told that story a couple of times, Kat and I, how we met each other. But at a thing that with our universities meeting up, being tutors, both of us, for our respective universities, and then we also hung out at Roskilde Festival together, and then kind of from there on, or like immediately after Roskilde, almost we became boyfriend and girlfriend. And yeah,
yeah.
I think I told you pretty early on that you know what I think this might be the one. No, I'm actually pretty sure this is the one. Yeah, that's always a fun little memory or strolling
Yeah.
down memory lane.
And I remember the first time that I met Kat. She's a very gentle person,
Mm.
not so loud as a person, and so on, and me not so much. So I had to sort of restrain myself because, as you know, when you bring your girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever, home to the parents the first time, um, you better make a good impression. And well, I remember I was like she was very gentle, and I was kind of afraid to break her, uh, saying hi and giving her a hug and stuff like that. So it, it changed over time, of course, but at the beginning, I remember her as a very gentle person,
Mm.
and which I was almost kind of afraid to break. And yeah,
Just
uh,
timid and
it's
then a
a
little bit.
fond,
Oh, sorry.
it's a fond memory.
Yes, 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 yes. And yeah, just timid and a little bit shy, which maybe you've seen some of that in Cat and some of the videos, maybe not. And I've definitely always been, well, not always. I've become more of a outgoing person. I was also very shy and timid in a lot of ways when I was younger, at least, depending on what sort of people I was with. But yeah, I think that is actually a good segue into some looking at some pictures from some years ago when I was younger, at least, and getting into um, some some of the traveling that we've done, or at least some of the stuff that we have done together. And oh, yep, for example, the background that Major Dad just pulled up, skiing. That's a big thing for us. I don't have a whole bunch of skiing pictures. I've actually prepared some Star Wars related stuff, of course, but I think we can quickly touch on that, the whole skiing aspect, because that's not something we did like when I was very little, like when I was very young. We did it for the first time when I was 9, 10,
Around 9, 10.
9 or 10, yeah.
Yeah,
And
9.
yeah, and then we kind of did it every year, at least once a year from then on. And usually we would do it over New Year's, and we would go to Austria or France, Italy, and ski in the Alps. And that's a big part of like us bonding out when we're traveling and learning to ski together, because none of
Yeah.
us really knew how to do that before we started. And that was maybe a little bit of a struggle, also because we both of us maybe, and maybe also you in particular, have a thing where I can do this myself. I can learn this. I can teach this to myself.
Sometimes I just look at other people and say, well, if they can do it, I probably can too. And
Yes.
then, or I take the approach that like Pippi, the Swedish Pippi Langstrømpe. Normally
Yes.
she's called Longstocking.
PP
Pippi
long
Long.
stocking. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Her approach is, wow, I never done that before. I'm probably very good at it. So that's a good approach.
Yes, and I certainly remember that, and that we were just clicking those things on the boots, the skis, and all the gear, and then all right, I guess you point them downhill, right? And here we go, and then we kind of just took it from there. Did get a little bit, or did we get any classes at all in that stuff? I don't.
After falling around for a while, we did take some lessons.
Okay, we did take some lessons. Okay, it's just
Yeah,
yeah, my memory.
yeah,
And then also just go quickly then later on teaching or trying to take Lillian and the
yeah.
girls out skiing as
My
well.
new wife. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and trying the same method with her, that was not, no.
That didn't go well. We took my wife, my new wife, out for skiing, and it just the three of us, or the two of us took her. It was just the three of us, and your sisters, or whatever it's called.
Mm.
They came on later the
Yeah,
next time,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
we just went uphill and said, well, it's very easy. Just point downhill, and we'll take it from there. And I'm happy that she liked skiing. I'm lucky that she loved me enough at that point to just bear with me on the way down. So that turned out pretty well. And luckily, she enjoyed skiing and went skiing with the whole family over New Year's for quite a few years.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
Still do when we can. And as some write on the chat here, I can't wait till I can travel again. I really need to travel soon as well. I mean,
Yeah.
I've traveled a little bit, but that's with work, so it's not the same as traveling for fun. And that's been possible for about a year or so now. So
Yeah.
I'm
It's
looking forward to it. No skiing this year, and we did get some skiing last year.
like in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, you didn't, but we did.
Mm.
And yeah, so hopefully soon again.
Yes, yes. Hopefully very, 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 very soon as possible. I also like this whole thing about not going skiing at least once a year is it's almost like feels wrong in my body. I want to go skiing. But yeah, that's a lot of fond memories there. And there's a new Streamlabs, which once again can segue us into some Star Wars stuff because it is Star Wars centric. Just skål, real quick, and to you guys out there as well. All right. We have one here from Cass. What is Major Dad's favorite Star Wars film? And how did he react to Luke's return in the Mandalorian finale?
Wow, two questions. Uh, I am actually Star Wars, the first one after later on called A New Hope, but the first one brings back some very fun memories to me because I went to see it with my dad, and that was kind of for me as well. So A New Hope still stands out as something unique for me because that took me into the Star Wars universe, and I loved it to extreme extent, and we'll come into it a little bit later about I did take Sonny out for episode 1, 2, and 3 for the premiere and all that. So episode 4, the first one, Star Wars or called A New Hope, that's definitely the best one for me. And how did I react to the Mandalorian or seeing Luke again? I think like most people, that was a dream come true for me because in my mind, seeing Luke back then was I expect him to be a very strong Jedi, and episode 7, 8, 9 didn't quite do that for me. Great movies, not Star Warsy enough for me, kind of way.
Yeah.
So seeing Luke the right way, and you said in your reaction that there was a little CGI magic thing going on, a little in Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, yeah.
But I didn't notice that because it was the Luke I wanted to see. So they could sort of just made a drawing of him. So that was fine. The
Uh,
reaction that you gave was close to mine. Then again, I'm from Sonny will probably confirm that. I was brought up that big boys don't cry, and that means big boys don't cry.
mm,
But the older I get, the more I get closer and closer to maybe tearing up a bit.
mm,
I tend to, instead of tearing up a bit, I turn to humor and I come with humorous remarks and stuff like that. I think most people do that. So it
yeah.
was absolutely great seeing Luke that way.
Yes, yes, exactly. A really big moment for Star Wars fans and especially fans of the original trilogy and how Luke was in that one. Um, all right, so I
I
think
see.
I want to start out with a few pictures soon. All right, you were saying?
Yeah, I just noticed someone wrote that he lives in Salt Lake City and the impact of the skiing industry has been terrible. And yeah, I feel for those people because they make their money, they make their living on that special time of year, and they didn't get a full season or not much of a season last year, and this year they're not getting any at all. So I
Yeah.
expect that traveling, once the pandemic is over, traveling is going to be pretty expensive because you have to rebuild a lot of places, and I feel so bad for them.
Yeah, yeah, me too. It's unfortunately a lot of people struggling both with the tourist industry and any other almost unless maybe you can do something from home. It is I'm fortunate in that way that I would have been home doing some of this stuff anyway, but I would have liked to have sprinkled in at least a little vacation here and there. Because that's just
I'm
me
lucky.
personally, but a lot of people are struggling like
Yeah,
way more, and especially in that industry, as you mentioned.
and I feel quite lucky. I'm a government employee, and I work somewhere where they think it's critical enough for me to go to work. So I really haven't had any days home. I have to go to work every day and so on. So I
Mm.
get my pay and other people are stuck. My wife has been working from home since March last year, and she really wants to meet other people by now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And when you say meet other people, it's not in that way, but just
No, just go to work and
yeah,
do
yeah.
the stuff at work that you do. Talk with people that way around.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly. I get it. I get it. I get it. Just
she
teasing a
might
little
want
bit.
to meet someone else than me, but I'm not learning how to now. I mean,
All right. Yeah, but I teased that we would have some pictures and especially some Star Wars related stuff. And you already said it that well, you saw the original trilogy in cinema, and going to the movie theater with your father.
yeah.
And then we did the same. You took me to see episodes 1, 2, and 3, and for me, those were the Star Wars movies that I grew up with. I know many people have a lot of different opinions about the prequels, and I am very well aware that they are not, acting wise, script wise, and stuff like that. It's not the most gripping stuff. But when it came to the overall story and the world building, the universe, it was still all there. So of course, enjoyed those movies growing up, and as a kid, you are less critical about all of that stuff. So I loved it.
I
But but but
enjoyed
but
the three.
yeah, yeah, exactly, and especially the third one. Yeah, I thought I think it's still actually one of my favorite Star Wars movies. It's really high up there on the list for me at least. Um, and then going to these premieres, we would dress up,
Yeah,
and something that you were always surprisingly good at, I should almost say, is making these costumes for me a lot of the time. And one of the earliest ones was actually also a Star Wars costume. It was before the prequel trilogy came out, and it was a stormtrooper costume you made out of shower curtains and some other stuff that you found. Let me see if I can just quickly find it here in the.
Shower curtain and some other dress up stuff and some paint. And your mother bought the helmet in London.
Exactly. Yeah, she came. She was in London and she brought that home. But you can see right here, coming up on the middle of the screen, is me standing there in the homemade stormtrooper outfit with like the real helmet from London that I still have it here in the apartment, and I'm looking at it right now. I could almost go and get it, but maybe in a little bit. And that was I think there's another one. Yeah, exactly. There we go. With the blaster and everything, and that was kind of like that was the first costume, at least that you made for me. And I also remember you making the mask. That was something that I was into for some reason when I was a kid as well. That
Yeah,
yellow suit and everything. I don't know
I
how.
actually I went to a sewing class for making the what do you call it? Pigtail suit, penguin suit,
Penguin suit. The
but in yellow. I don't
Yeah,
know what it's called.
in English. No, it's is it. You guys tell us that the nice suit that you wear to very special occasions with those two flaps hanging behind you. What's it
Yeah,
called in English? Because in Danish it's
penguin
called
suit.
a penguin suit, but I'm fairly certain that's not the case in English.
So yeah. Well, anyway, I took sewing classes to make that, and at that point I was young and young man coming to sewing class. It was a lot of tuxedo. Someone put it up there, kind of tuxedo
Oh,
like, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but tuxedo is that not just if
That,
you?
no, that's the one with the glaze. I don't know what's.
I'm not knowledgeable enough about that
Anyway, I took
stuff.
sewing class and I went there with these old ladies, more or less, and they helped me out a lot. But I pretended I sewed it, so I spent a lot of evenings making that suit for you, and
Yeah.
then making you all green and all that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a
Well,
lot of fun. Not very Star Wars related, but at least that's another one of the costumes that you made for me. And then just putting this one up on screen again, we have Star Wars Episode One premiere, and I know this is covering almost all of the screen, but hopefully it's not gonna be any issue. You can still hear our voices. That was going to yeah, the premiere of Episode One here in Copenhagen at a place called Scala, which is not there anymore. And that's me standing there in the middle with a double-bladed lightsaber. And that's important to mention here. I was the only one at that premiere with a double-bladed lightsaber. So the guy standing behind me dressed as Darth Maul as well, and he's got the real face painting and everything going on. I'm just wearing a mask. He really wanted to borrow my double-bladed lightsaber, play around with it, and then someone in a Jar Jar Binks costume, because this was before people got to meet that character for real, so people wanted to dress up as him, and then Mace Windu behind me. So yeah, that was my first going to the movies, watching a Star Wars film experience, and I really, 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 really enjoyed that. I think I'm pretty sure I did. It's not everything that I
I
remember.
happened, yeah, I happened to have been to the States at that point. So I bought the double-bladed lightsaber in the States and brought it with me back home.
Hmm.
But I hadn't made it to Denmark yet at that point. So that
No,
was
no.
why someone else had it. So
Yeah, and I don't remember. Did Episode One, did it come out later here in Denmark than the States, or did we get it around the same date?
we got there around the same date. Yeah,
Okay, because I
maybe one day later, but not
yeah,
more than that.
Because I know, at least, like, going all the way back to the original trilogy, like, we here in Denmark didn't get A New Hope, or Star Wars as it was called back then, until 78, I
No,
believe. We
that's
didn't get
yeah. No,
get it in 77, like the States did, but different times back then, not as global. Now most stuff will come out simultaneously around the globe. Almost most stuff. There's still, of course, some differences here and there, and depending on what sort of project, what movie it is. But yeah,
yeah.
what do you remember from that first premiere with episode one?
What to remember? Well, it was you were so happy about uh, having the
The double
what
bladed.
a double-bladed lightsaber and people wanting to be with you,
Mm,
uh, wanting to be around you. You enjoyed it very much. So that was quite a lot of fun to see. So the whole dressing you up and walking around with you got a lot of attention, and that's really what I remember most about it. And then, of course, when you got in there, you were probably one of the youngest guys there because, well, probably I took you to the cinema a little bit before most other people will do that. I mean, I let you see Star Wars movies and kind of straight out of the womb. So
yeah, pretty much, pretty much. And also, just as we mentioned, The Mask, that I then saw very early on, and maybe not a kids movie per se, the one with Jim Carrey, but I still have very fond memories about that. It was very innocent to me, a lot of it, and I like, if there were any underlying very adult themes, which I'm pretty sure there is in that movie, if I remember correctly. I didn't catch on to it when I was a kid.
I mean, I was there watching it with you, and I do not consider you damaged for life. So
No,
I'm okay with that.
exactly.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
episode one. But that was also episode two where you got um,
oh yeah,
Boba Fett.
exactly. Boba Fett. So let me just bring up the pictures again. Sorry, this one
That
was
was
same as before.
again. I had to kind of come up with how do you make that fit a little young guy like that. So it's
Yep.
actually made out of foam and whatever I come across and glue and all that.
Exactly, and that is then what I am wearing right there on the screen, standing with some people from, I believe they were from the Danish 501st Garrison, or the Scandinavian 501st Garrison, or something like that. Some stormtroopers, and then a guy in a Boba Fett costume as well. Then me there, and then the helmet, which is a helmet that was bought, and then the costume itself is what you then created out of I think, yeah, some of your old clothes and some other stuff we could find, and then some foam mattresses that you cut into, and then you made the kind of like the Mandalorian armor, or the Beskar, or the Durasteel, I think it's actually made out of, Boba's. I think there's another picture as well. Yep, there we can see me standing by
Yeah, and the
myself.
helmet, I don't know if you can remember the helmet. You bought that yourself in Denver when we visited Paul.
That's right. I bought it in Denver. That's right. Yeah. And that I have as well. It's unfortunately it's broken up a little bit along the visor, which that sucks. Maybe I can glue it at some point. But yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that. That was bought in Denver. Yeah. And you can actually see on the picture that's up right now, where I'm wearing the costume, that in the background, one of my buddies, Frederick, he borrowed my old stormtrooper costume, and then him and his mother kind of worked on it and made it fit him, because it was way too small at that point. But at least he borrowed it, and then he borrowed the helmet, I think, as well. So that's actually almost like two of your like costumes that you created on screen right now. All right, and yep, there's another one quickly. Just me standing there with the stormtroopers and Boba Fett again. And this is in 2002, mind you, and in Copenhagen at Imperial Cinema. Imperial is how we pronounce it, but it is Imperial, and that is very fitting to go and watch a Star Wars movie at a big theater called Imperial. So yeah, that was episode 2, and I think we're just.
For episode 2, I dressed up kind of like Luke
You did.
in the dark suit, and for episode 3, we went kind of all the way with the whole family.
Exactly,
So
exactly, and I'll put that up in just a minute because I do see some new Streamlabs, and I do want to get to those when they come in, just because I think that's only fair when you guys are donating. All right, we got one from Doc E Dubs. Hey guys, your noble patron Doc here. I was wondering if you guys would be interested in reacting to history videos on YouTube. I'd love to have more history with Major Dad. P.S. You guys are testing my dry January willpower. Oh, sorry. Dry January being like he's not
yeah,
drinking, of course. Sorry about that. Don't mean to test anyone out there who's not drinking at the moment. It's just we thought, why not? I can also tell you that Major Dad might be drinking a drink, but you can't see what's in my glass, and that's also because like I didn't really put anything special in here. It's pretty much just water. And that is no
and
problem with that.
I'm truly sorry. I did not want to test anyone.
No, no.
I'm dry most of the time. Let me say that I'm dry
Yeah,
most of the time. So
exactly. And you're so essential as well when it comes to your work. So you have to stay sharp. But yes, we could maybe do something like that at some point because we have been talking about and thinking about what could we do or react to, talk about, do on video that has something to do with history, something to do with World War One or Two, anything.
I in the comments there was a lot of good links to good videos about history concerning the Pacific and so on. And I noticed there's a lot of other walkthroughs on different islands and all that stuff. I watched a lot of it because once it was in the comments, I found it and looked at it. But we can probably look something up. And I'm still wanting to take one of the old movies or some of the older movies and react to those because from a certain point of view, having John Wayne talking John Wayne-ish and having the approach of life that they had at that time, I find that funny as well. So both the history that they're displaying in the movie as well as the history of the time when the movie was shot could be really fun.
Definitely looking into some of that, and yeah, and I know there are some very well made, like production wise, very well made like history videos out there on YouTube, and also some very entertaining ones. I know just it's not necessarily like war or like recent history. I know there's a very popular like 20-minute long animated video that's just called the history of the entire world, I guess. That's very popular. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. I just know that some people have requested that as well. So that could also be something. But yeah, we'll look into it definitely.
I enjoy that history stuff, and I noticed that Doug just went back, just a joke, but still, as I probably said before, if I say something, it can either be understood in a good way or a bad way, but always take it the good way because I always mean the good way, and I don't want to hurt anyone. So even though it's just a joke, I hope I'm not offending anyone because that's the last thing I want to do.
Yes,
Most of the time.
I am sure the people they know, and that we definitely
Yes,
don't want to offend anyone on this channel.
yeah.
Oh,
Please send some links on Patreon if you can, so we can take
oh yeah,
it from there.
definitely. Always send some links or in maybe not in the chat, but when this video is up, you're also very much welcome to just post some links in the comments. And if you're watching it on the replay, then of course you can do it right now. there's another question real quick that we can get to before we look at the rest of the pictures. And it's from Will again. Hey Sonny, I happen to be family friends with the founder of a 501st Legion. Let me know if you would ever like to possibly do an interview for one of the Friday shows. Oh, Will, that could be awesome. That could be, yeah, definitely. I would love to talk to the freaking one of the founders of the 501st, or is it the founder of the 501st Legion? Damn, yeah, I would absolutely love
That
to.
would
And
be
that's
perfect. Because I really love what they're doing with the 501st, especially showing up for all events and going to
yeah,
hospitals and all that. It's really, it's having the right attitude and doing cosplay the right way, the right place. I really like that. So
yeah, charity, doing so much charity. It's yeah, so much respect to those people in the 501st all over the world. But yes, that's I would love to do something like that, and that is also just like yeah, Will said, it's something that I would love to do more of on this channel is bringing in interesting guests and also maybe do some interviews, and that could be a very interesting interview to do. All right, you mentioned I know that the pictures they keep going back. I'm just gonna scroll forward. You mentioned episode 3 where we went all out.
yeah,
Got it right here. That's our entire family. Or, it's me with standing there, Anakin with the lightsaber, and then you in Palpatine robes. And then we got my stepsister standing on either side, wearing Leia-like costumes. And then Lillian, your wife, is wearing actually it's a character that's kind of just in there very quickly in episode 2, or maybe she's just quickly in the background, but she was in.
he was the aide to Bail Organa, Bail Organa.
Yes, exactly. She was the aide to Bail Organa. So most likely someone from Alderaan. But it was
Yeah,
just a cool look and a nice dress. And all of those costumes as well. They are more or less, homemade, but we did get help from a professional tailor, even though he kind of messed some of the things up a little bit, or at least the
he
hoods
messed
that he
up.
made.
Yeah, he messed some of it up, and Lillian kind of saved some of it afterwards. So,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
please notice that my hair, I had hair at that time, is gray. That
Yes.
is where I really made the foundation for losing all my hair. I dyed it very, very white, and then afterwards painted it or had it colored gray.
Yeah.
And from then on out, it just kind of fell off the top of my head.
Yeah, yeah. You kind of got a quick look at, okay, if I don't shave, this might be what I can look forward to, and then nah, it just go bald instead. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, and going to that premiere, episode 3, that was like the biggest out of the like the prequel premieres that we went to. And there was a whole thing where everybody dressed up like they went into Tivoli, if you know about that, like a huge, very very old theme park here in Copenhagen. That's very close to the movie theater, the Imperial, as well. And went in there, and they had a bunch of like yeah, a bunch of people walking around as well in stormtrooper costumes and standing there as guards, and they had some contests, some costume contests, which I won one of them. So that was very cool, and getting some
You
some,
did
some cool
actually
prizes.
win a lot of times with the costumes. In Denmark, we have a Fastelavn, which is kind of Halloween, but another time of the year.
Mm.
But Sonny dressed up, and he did win a lot of times for best costume, and that was great.
Yes, so yeah, always been a big fan of
Yeah.
costumes, cosplaying, and it definitely started back then. All right, let me just get it back up real quick. I hate that I have to scroll through them every time, but hopefully it's not a big deal. And then, oh yeah, there we go. That says in Danish, forsalskøen til Star Wars, which is just, this is the line for Star Wars. And that was, yeah, we were camping, sleeping in front of the cinema for how many days was it? 4 or 5?
About 6 days total.
Six days. Okay, yeah, 6 days in total. Almost a week we were camping in front of the cinema because we wanted those tickets for the premiere, like the opening, the midnight opening of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. And at this point in time, we thought that this was going to be the last Star Wars we were ever going to get. So that's why we really put in a lot of effort to make it something really special.
All in. Yeah.
Yeah, we went all in, and you can see like the people standing there is actually I think that's me standing with like a some sort of a white and red cap and a green shirt on, and then
Yes.
Lillian next to me, and then my friend Zachary, who you've seen on this channel before, and then some of his family standing there. So yeah, it was just a really cool experience, and doing it with other huge fans. You can see here like a better picture of us sitting in front of the just out on the street in front of the freaking cinema, camping, and there's a couch and there are chairs, and like now it's
It
a
was
very
fun.
old television, but huh?
I wish they would have done that with the episodes 7, 8, and 9, but they kind of decided they shouldn't have that kind of setup in Copenhagen. But
Mm,
if it had happened, I would have got in there still and just to do that. It was
yeah.
fun waiting in line with the sleeping in the street in Copenhagen, and but being with people who love Star Wars.
Exactly, being there with like-minded people who are just as much into it as you are, and they want to be there. They're excited about being there. Of course, we also had the occasional drunk jackass stumbling up and
Of
trying
course,
to take a leak on the tents in the middle of the night because it was in the middle of the freaking city. But it was still such a special experience, and as you're saying, something that I wish they had done with the sequel trilogy. But no, there were no midnight screenings here in Denmark with the sequel trilogies. No standing in line. The people who got to see it before were either famous people, or thankfully people who are in like some of the Danish cosplay groups and whatnot. We actually did get to do that with Rise of Skywalker. You and I
yeah,
did get to do that because we were able to dress up and do that for all the famous and important people there, you could
yeah.
say.
Who in general know nothing about Star Wars, but just get in there because
Exactly. They
they're the
don't
people.
care about the shit, but they're invited to it, so and they get to watch it before everybody else because they're famous. So, as you
And
can hear,
we're
not
bitter
salty
about.
at all.
No, no, not we're not bitter. No, we're not.
No, we're not. Another quick picture where you can just see, yeah, still laying there, and then now there are even more tents at that point. Like a lot of people joined in, and it just became bigger and bigger and bigger. We're actually laying in front of a cinema called or a movie theater called Palace, which is yeah translates to palace. It was just because there were more room in front of that one compared to Imperial, but we still went to Imperial because that was the biggest movie theater, the biggest screen, the best sound, all of that. Yeah. So that
And
was
apart,
those three premieres. I
and
do.
apart from that, we also been going to the conventions. We haven't made it to a convention in the States yet, but we went to a
No.
convention in Germany and in London as well.
Yes,
That was,
Star Wars Celebration. We went to
yeah,
that
celebration.
in
I mean, yeah, celebrations. Yeah,
exactly, which was a big thing as well. Don't really have any of those pictures, but I do have something where you and I standing here in Tunisia, the place where they shot most of some of the interior of Lars' homestead on Tatooine, where Luke grew up. And standing there in front of that and showing off our Mandalorian tattoos that we had done not long before that, I believe, or a year before or something. They were still kind of new-ish, and I am, of course, wearing a Star Wars T-shirt.
yeah.
So that's, yeah, going out in the world and seeing just some of the places where they shot some of the stuff, at least. I don't know if this is still there in Tunisia or if it's gone now.
It is still there.
It's still there. Okay, good, good, good.
It's just hard getting down there.
Yeah, yeah. Now I wouldn't want to. Nope. But that was at least it for some of the pictures I had, and then oh, you have one on your background there. That's from London actually. That's from Star Wars Celebration in London.
And
And
Sonny is an imperial officer, so
yes, and that was not. And you're wearing what?
kind of kind of a Jedi setup thing.
Yes, it was actually like an Anakin costume because that's my Anakin Skywalker costume, and you saw me wearing that from the Going to Revenge of the Sith premiere in 2005, and it still fits me. And it also did at that point for Star Wars Celebration in London. So I could wear that, and you could also wear it, or at least just in a different way. And then the Imperial officer costume that you were wearing, and then I borrowed it one day.
So there's a lot of good pictures from over there,
Mm.
and just dress up something that looks kind of Jedi-ish like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was also very hot actually in London at that point, so hence the no sleeves and everything.
Yeah,
Also looking kind of jacked there, by the way. That's
yeah.
you've all. My father has always been like the kind of that like when I was really young and you were when you were kids and you all always had those my dad can beat up your dad kind of weird kiddie discussions. Anytime I said I brought my dad into the conversation, most of the other kids would be like, "Yeah, all right, yeah, your dad can beat my dad. I know." It's I had the
That's
badass
nice.
dad.
That, that's what being a parent all about is getting to be the superhero. I mean, you start off as a superhero for quite a while, and then at some point you turn out to be a supervillain, and then
Then
for a time being, your only superpower is going to be invisibility, and then at some point comes back again and exists.
comes the hero. Yes, there comes the redemption arc.
So,
Right. But yeah, those were at least just some of the pictures and some of the stuff that we've done together. Yeah, Star Wars travels, and then well, yeah, you also told the people a little bit about your military career, not all of it, but at least just some of it, some of your what you've been doing ever since you started.
yeah. So all in
Um,
all, I've been
yeah.
all around the different places and stuff like that. So, and we've been at it for about an hour, and I said I'll give you about half an hour. I didn't expect the
Exactly.
first half hour to be in the waiting room, and then
No.
an hour.
But now, yeah, well, you know, and I'm sure the people have also learned that when I say 5 or 10 minutes, it's half an hour. When I say an hour, it's 2 hours. Half an hour is 1 hour. It's yeah, it always takes longer. Some of the stuff, and I hope you guys didn't mind, and that we were going on for so long and just talking about some of our
We,
memories and some of the stuff that we've experienced through time. Yeah.
we made it up to 2016 on the last picture. So that's what's happened the last 4 years. Not that much, really. I mean,
Yeah, if you're talking about from 2016 to 2020 or now 2021, it's those are some interesting 4 years for
yeah. Well,
the
yeah.
world.
What we haven't touched is you going to Canada as a ski instructor and us coming over there and visiting you. And that
That's
was,
right. That's right. That's when we're talking about traveling and skiing. That was the big one for me personally. Is and how I developed a lot, or I got to develop a lot as a person, just going to another country and living there for almost a year and working with people you've never met before until you got there, and even a job you've never done before. And then I was very lucky that you guys came to visit, and that you stayed for a couple of weeks, and we got to see some of Canada together. I was able to take some time off of work as a ski instructor while you guys were there. So it was just that's memories that I definitely cherish a lot, and it I can circle all of that back to just everything we've been talking about and our experiences and traveling and our advice to all of you people out there when you are able to again, because right now it's very difficult. But when you're able to then go out and experience the world, travel, meet new people, get out of your comfort zone, talk to people you maybe wouldn't necessarily normally go up and talk to, and yeah, that's we talked about all of that earlier, but I think you can always mention it again, because it is important, I think, or at least it can bring some value. It brought some value into our lives, at least.
Yeah, and it's good stuff. But as I said, we're probably nearing the end on this. So I kind of want to end my participation in this on saying that I'm really proud of what you're doing with your channel and the shows you're doing, and I enjoy seeing all the comments and all the people that are coming to either be patrons or adding comments to it, to your shows, because you stay non-political, you stay happy, you take the good things. If I want to see bad things, I could just turn on the news, but all the good things come here, and I'm glad we don't have to talk about politics, race, religion, color, or anything like that, because there's too much of that out there. Let's just be happy that we are having a good life and get all the good memories together. That's me being the old moralizing dad, but I really, really enjoy your channel, and I enjoy writing all the great comments. And I want to say thank you to all the patrons for your channel, and to all the people putting good, great comments in under your videos and stuff like that. So.
Mm.
So that's more or less the way I want to sign off, by saying that you're doing quite well. I'm really enjoying that.
Oh, thank you.
See what you're doing with it.
Thank you so much. And I do, like, every time I have ups and downs, and there's some stuff I want to talk about relating to the channel, or some of the stuff that I'm doing. My time management is still not quite there, and we talked about it recently. I will put a lot of hours into this, maybe way more than I should. I'm basically working 2 weeks in 1 week, with the time I devote to all of this stuff. But I'm so happy that I can always talk to you about it, and you will always support me and help me out whenever, be that actually, to helping me out in a technical aspect, or helping me out by just talking to me and just comforting me and saying, no worries, people are gonna like it, you're gonna make it, it's all good, everything is good. And then also, just quickly, just what you said about, yes, what we want to do here on the channel, and especially also what I want to do here on this show, is just down to earth, just eye level entertainment and good vibes, wholesomeness, and stuff that we can maybe stand to use a little bit more of, compared to everything else you see when you turn on the television, or you look through social media, and go doom scrolling and whatever you want to call it. It's here we want to focus on good things, and I think we've definitely done that today. When it comes to, once again, some of the good things that we share and that we have shared up until now.
And I'm there 24/7, 365. If you need me, just give me a call. And also, I just noticed a few comments. One comment about 1970, the movie. Wouldn't mind doing that, but it's not going to be a reaction. It's going to be a commentary, because I've already seen that, but it's a great movie. We could do that as well. And thank you to Hooglehead and Will and so on. And thank you so much for taking time out to listen to what I have to say. And I will, of course, be ready to do another interview at any time if you want one.
Definitely.
But let this one marinate and see how it turns out.
Yeah. I'm sure I can always bring you on to talk some more Star Wars
And
or something.
Hooglehead, you need to get bit by a spider and gain time management superpower, because you're working 80, 90 hours a week, and I work a lot, and I don't do 80 hours a week.
No.
That's me being a dad.
Yeah, and
Do your outro and throw me out again to the waiting room, and we'll probably talk once you round this off or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I'll throw you in the waiting room, or you can, if you want to stay there, or we can just talk over the phone afterwards. But at least thank you so much for joining, Dad.
I'll,
And
I'll be in the waiting room, but I need to go to the little men's room,
oh
so
yeah,
I'll.
you've been drinking a whole dark and
I
stormy
had
thing
a
there.
whole
So
drink. So thank you so much for listening to us, and have a great day, evening, morning, wherever you are around the world.
yes, exactly. Yeah, skål to all you guys out there, and also yeah, be it drinks or water or whatever it is. See you, Dad. See you in a bit. And thank you so much for stopping by once again.
Anytime.
You're welcome. Oh, let me just see. I am. There we go. All right. See you, Dad. Bye.
Catch you. Hi.
All right. Well, that was really, really nice little interview there with my father talking online like that. And with all of you people watching, I hope it wasn't too just too down to earth and just him and I just talking together. Oh, just a sec. Let me just take those headphones out because I don't need them anymore. I don't have anything I need to listen to. Now I just need to talk to you guys real quick and round this off. But I hope at least that you enjoyed that. And got a little thing out of it, be it just something about me, something about my father, or just maybe just feeling entertained a little bit for a little while. And that's pretty much everything I prepared for this stream. I wanted to, of course, do my non-spoiler reviews about for WandaVision episodes 1 and 2, because they just came out, and not really gonna be able to get the reactions out on YouTube until tomorrow. They will be up on Patreon, the full-length versions, later today / tonight. Once again, wherever you are in the world. But yeah, I just wanted to do that, and then of course bring in Major Dad and talk about some of the stuff that we had prepared, which was basically, yeah, what you saw, our Star Wars experiences, some traveling, and then started out with him just telling you guys about his military career. So I hope that those of you who are curious about that you had your questions answered in that regard. But I think then we are nearing the end of this show. So it's not going to be a full 2-hour show. Almost. It's getting close. So I'm just quickly going to go in here and see Streamlabs. Do we have any new ones? Nope. But I do want to say a big thank you to the people who did donate and ask your questions through there, and then of course also a big thank you to everybody who joined the stream and who's been there in the chat all the way through. And also thank you to those of you who are watching this on the replay. Thank you for choosing to watch this video, and please give the video a thumbs up or a like. And throw in a comment, maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. And then we also have our Patreon page where we where we do full-length reactions and also early reactions for The Legend of Korra at the moment. And yeah, other than that, of course, just keep an eye on the community tab on YouTube, where I put out weekly schedules for what we're going to be doing. And there's also something else that I put in the weekly schedule for this week. And I know we're getting to the end of the week, and I haven't really put it out yet. And that's because I've been so freaking busy and technical issues, and got behind on some of the Expand stuff. And yeah, but I promised that I was going to put out some gameplay videos or some playthroughs of Cyberpunk 2077, of me playing that and starting out the game. And one of our dear friends that we've gotten to know through this community, through YouTube and Patreon, Sweel, maybe you've seen him as a moderator on some of our stuff on YouTube. He has actually edited a bunch of those. So I'm gonna, as soon as I have a little bit of time, I'm gonna start putting those out on YouTube. So just expect them to pop up in the near future. And yeah, it definitely seems like some people enjoyed his short little expose about his career. And you're welcome. It was chill, and I was aiming for a very chill stream. And that is, that is always something that I'm gonna aim for. That it is relaxed, and that you guys will feel like you can always butt in. You can always, yeah, come here and relax a little bit, and just sometimes hear about some pop culture stuff, sometimes some personal stuff, like today, and then some interesting guests once in a while. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna be doing next time. I might have another guest on. Maybe it's gonna be Kat. It's gonna be Kat at some point. Of course, Kat is gonna join at some point. It might also be one of my very very dear friends, best friend, and oldest friend, Zachary Zach, that I've mentioned a couple of times before. Might be him, or I might have gotten an interview with another interesting person out there. That might also just be down the line a little bit. These interviews with something like what Will mentioned. The founder of the 501st. I would love to interview a person like that, or just someone who has something to do with some of the stuff that we're watching, pop culture. I prefer anxiety producing streams, to be honest. All right, fair enough. Then wrong place. I know you're joking. But thank you guys once again so much. I'm just gonna refresh Streamlabs one last time. Take a look at the chat, and seems like that's it when it comes to questions. If you have any pressing questions, then send them immediately. And I just saw a question. Have you all seen Fleabag? If not, I recommend it. Good show to react to. Thank you so much. Always open for suggestions, even though we're not going to be able to start any new shows right now or really anytime soon. But we definitely always welcome suggestions, even the daily please react to Attack on Titan comments that we get every freaking day. But that must be because you guys really want us to react to that, and we're going to at some point. It's just not right now, probably not until we're done with The Legend of Korra, but we will get to it at some point. You can be sure of that. All right. That's going to do it. Thank you guys so much. Once again, thank you to the people who sent in Streamlabs. I'm definitely going to reach out to you, Will, or we're going to talk about the whole 501st thing at some point, because that would be really, really, really interesting to do. I have a tendency to just keep talking. So I am going to go over here to Streamlabs, get ready to end the stream. And just, once again, thank you so much. I'm going to probably update some of this for the next time. And maybe I'm going to keep updating it. But this was just something that I kind of just did just right before starting the stream with these elements here. But the logo, I kind of like. It's simple. And thank you also to all the people who voted in that poll and voted. Most of you voted for Catch Up with Sonny, so that's what it is now. That's the name of this weekly show, and I cannot wait to do another one next Friday. So that's gonna do it. See you guys very, very, very soon, and thank you once again so much for joining. Bye.